Welcome back to the Land Before Prime, your 5-minute dive into films found in the cinema, on physical media, or long forgotten by everyone, including streaming. The rules are simple. We have 5 minutes to break the story down, tell you the highs and the lows, and what we thought of it. Be warned, we aren't avoiding spoilers. In this episode, we're looking at 28 years later, so timekeeper, count me in. Released June 2025 for UK cinemas, 28 years later is the third film in the 28 franchise. Following on from 28 days and 28 weeks later, we see what life in Britain is now like 28 years after the rage virus first hit. Starring Aaron Taylor-Johnson, Kick-Ass and Godzilla, Jodie Comer, Killing Eve, Free Guy, Ralph Fiennes, Schindler's List, The Menu, Jack O'Connell, Skins, This Is England, Alfie Williams, His Dark Materials, Fallacy, and introducing Chai Lewis Parry. So the film opens with the actual Teletubbies. Yep, full suits, none of that CGI BBC nonsense. Sadly, Tinky Winky doesn't last long because, surprise, the rage virus attacks. Young Jimmy legs it from the carnage while his reverend dad basically says Judgment Day is nigh, before becoming infected brunch. But don't worry, Jimmy gets handed across and the ability to run like hell. See you in 28 years. Cut to Lindisfarne, post-apocalyptic Butlins on a tidal island. The place runs on chores, 90s nostalgia and vibes. It's Spike's 12th birthday and his dad Jamie decides that's the perfect age to start slaying. Mum's ill, barely functional, so naturally, let's ignore that and head to the mainland. Over there, Spike kills a couple of slow, blobby infected before they meet their first alpha. You can tell it's an alpha because, well, let's just say gravity is not his enemy. They camp in an old house, see some ominous fire in the distance, and nearly get flattened by a stampede of deer. The alpha sticks around like a bad smell, and they only just make it back, until Big Johnson the alpha comes charging. Thankfully, the community guard finally clocks in, and boom, Big Johnson gets dropped. Back home, it's party time. Dad's drunk, lying about everything and sleeping with Rosie. Spike finds out and is not a fan. Meanwhile, Sam, the community gossip, drops a truth bomb. There's a weird doctor out there, Kelson, but don't mention him, so obviously that's all Spike's going to think about. After threatening Dad with a knife, it's classic family bonding, Spike sets a fire, kidnaps his mum, and heads off to find Dr. Doom himself. Cue montage, dead soldiers, angry alphas, and one surviving soldier who tries to explain phones to people raised on carrier pigeons. They find a pregnant infected woman, sure thing, deliver her baby, why not, and then Alpha Daddy shows up and fatalities the soldier. It's a lot. Finally, they meet Dr. Kelson. Surprise, Mum's not infected. Nope, she's got brain cancer. Kelson euthanizes her with a dart like she's a panda in the zoo, and Spike adds her skull to the weird pyramid of monument. Totally normal reaction, no notes. Jamie, feeling guilty, dumps the baby back at the village and goes off to find himself. Instead, he finds a mob of infected, gets saved last minute by Jimmy and his gang of culty kung fu survivors in tracksuits. They look if the Power Rangers were managed by Jimmy Savile. Spike joins them, end of film, roll credits. Let's talk more, shall we? Let's get one thing straight. This isn't days, weeks, years, it's years, years 2 and years 3. And that's right, Danny Boyle has confirmed this is part of a brand new trilogy, with the next chapter dropping in January 26. Oh, and Cillian Murphy's going to be back. Now, by the numbers, 28 years later is a clear success. Like Weeks, it's solid, serious and mostly well received. But does it hit the same nerve as 28 Days Later? Not quite. That first film had raw power, bleakness, that this one, good as it is, hasn't managed to replicate. That said, let's talk pros. This film's dark, grim, and absolutely scratches the horror itch. The gore feels grounded, brutal but believable, and the idea of a tidal island community is inspired. There's something oddly comforting about watching people live in a hard-grafting 90s-infused apocalypse. And let's give credit where it's due. Introducing Evolved Infected was genius. Just when the rage virus started to feel a bit familiar, they kicked it up to a terrifying notch. But if we're talking pros, we have to talk cons, and yes, the Jimmy Savile parallel, that's a big one. Sure, canon-wise it makes sense, survivors clinging to a pre-apocalyptic figure they never saw fall from grace, but in the real world it leaves a very bad taste. It's jarring, controversial, and it overshadows the film. Speaking of jarring, tone shift near the end, where things go from gritty realism to full-on Power Rangers, and not in a good way. Also, predictable story, underused Ralph Fiennes, a crime in itself, and uneven pacing. The middle drags while the start and the finish sprint. And then there's Isla helping a pregnant infected give birth. Honestly, I'm on the fence. It's part George A. Romero's Land of the Dead, part Zombie Midwife, part emotional curveball. Was it touching or just too weird? I'm going to let you decide. Can you watch this without seeing the first two? Absolutely. There's barely any canon, so if you don't know what the Rage virus is, you'll still get it. Accept it as a standalone zombie flick and you're good to go. Final rating, it's 7 out of 10. It's a strong return to the world of Rage. It's not reinventing the genre, but it's a worthy continuation, and I'm definitely along for the ride. Now, we like to make a film suggestion of what to watch after or instead of this film, so today's choice is Brain Dead. Is it clever? No. Disgusting? Yes. Peter Jackson, yes, Lord of the Rings, made a brutal zombie film, and it's truly a cult classic. Stop the clock. Thank you so much for joining The Land Before Prime for another 5-minute review. You can find out more about us on channel84.co.uk. You can also follow us on all our social media channels. More films are coming this way, including Jurassic Park and the new Superman when it's released. And we've got a few DVD releases coming up soon that we'll also be covering. Remember, go and check out the other podcasts, The Variety Show, Untitled Sci-Fi Show, Lightly Used and Who Takes the Socks Off, all found at channel84.co.uk. Thanks for listening, subscribe, share us, and we will see you soon.
This was a Studio Channel 84 network show. To find more, head over to channel84.co.uk now.